Okay. Believe we are live. Let me just check on my phone. Yes, we are live. So I will be watching on my phone. And if you have comments, questions, feel free to type them below in the comments box on Facebook. It is 9:55, so we will get started this morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. Good morning. And we're going to go over some classroom language, some classroom words here. 教室の言葉に, right? に is two. 教室 is classroom. 言葉, words or language. And the no just connects. So classroom language. Two, which is に. All right, here's some common words you will hear or see in the classroom. 問題, and you can feel free to repeat after me as I say each of these words. 問題, okay? This means a question, a problem. 問題, yeah, question or problem. And the answer to that 問題 is 答え. 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 The answer, right? 答え. Okay? If you are talking about a cell phone number or even a student number, you can use this word. 番号, 番号, right? 学生番号. 学生, we learned last week, was student. 番号 is number. So your student number, like if you're at a university or a high school, 学生番号 is student number. 電話番号, right? 電話, phone. 電話番号, phone number. Okay? And then this is, I think, unique to Japanese. Maru and batsu. Maru means circle. But they use this when an answer is correct. Okay, so if you got a question right, they will circle it. Maru. Okay? In America, and I think around most of the world, we just use a check mark, right? But in Japan, they don't use check marks. They use circles. Maru. Oftentimes you will see people going like this, maru, for meaning correct. And there's actually an emoji, a whole emoji of a person doing kono maru. The opposite is batsu, batsu, right? Batsu, meaning X or wrong, right? So this is the same in America and Japan. If you get a question wrong, it's batsu. Butts can also mean like punishment. Like, ooh, you got it wrong. Time to take a punishment or whatever. Butts. If you're talking about an example, right? This is de. De. The Japanese R here is a little tricky. De, da, di, du, de, do. Right? It's not like the American R where we put the tongue way back. Not like that. Japanese R I describe as a mix between an American L and an American D, right? D, the is right here on the kind of plateau right behind your teeth. That part of the roof of your mouth right behind your teeth, we have D, the D sound for D. L is also right there, l, right there. The Japanese R sound, the tip of your tongue will just kind of briefly touch the space before the plateau. So you have your teeth, you have, okay, this is your teeth, this is the plateau between your teeth, and then there is a kind of slope after that. when you do Japanese da, di, u, de, do, the tongue will touch kind of back, this back slope. I hope I'm describing this correctly. There's actually plenty of videos and articles online of how to do the Japanese R, right? It's not the same as the English R. This is not re, this is re, re, right? For the word example, re, okay? Let's do some verbs. To have a conversation. First of all, we have the word conversation. 会話. 会話 is conversation by itself. When you want to say I am doing something in Japanese, you could add をします. Okay? をします. To do something. So in Japanese, to have a conversation or to converse, you will literally say, conversation, I do. Literally. And you don't always need this を. Okay? You could just say 会話します. 会話します. Right? If you're being very polite and formal, right? Then you should add を. 会話をします. 会話をします. But usually we don't add を. Okay? To have a conversation. The verb meaning to talk or to speak. 話します. 話します. Right? 話します. They are talking. The verb to say or to tell, 言います. 言います. Right? Again, I said this last week. This is always a question with people. When a Japanese word ends in su, you will just kind of trail off the u sound. Just don't even say the u sound, just the s. So, 言います, right? 話します, します, okay? If you want to do listen, oh, I'm listening to you. 聞きます, 聞きます, right? Listening. This could also mean to ask a question. 聞きます. To look or to see, right? 見ます. 見ます. These are polite Japanese verbs. 見ます. And the verb to read. 読みます. 読みます. Okay? I'm sure you do all these things every single day, right? You listen to people, you look at things, you read books, you read labels, whatever. You say things to people, you talk to people, you have conversations. Try using these in your everyday Japanese, right? If you have flashcards, I recommend writing these down on flashcards so that you know these words when you want to say them, right? Every day. If you're reading a book, like we're going to read from the Bible at the end of this lesson, the very end, 読みます, right? That's the verb I would use to talk about reading. 読みます. Right now, you are watching me. You are looking at this screen. 見ます, right? You are listening to me. 聞きます. Okay? You're listening to me speak. 話します, right? Some more verbs here, typical verbs. To write down. 書きます. 書きます. Okay, don't forget, you could always repeat what I say, practice that pronunciation. 書きます. Okay, to write. 書きます can also mean to draw, as in a picture, to draw a picture. 書きます. Same pitch accent. Okay, to write letters and to draw a picture, same sound. The Chinese character that we use for both of these, however, is different. To study. Now, this is a good one. The word studying in general is just 勉強. 勉強. Okay? Studying. Now, again, if you want to say, I am doing something, you add をします. をします. So to say, I am doing studying, or I am studying in Japanese, 勉強します. Or just, you could leave out this o and say 勉強します. Okay? 勉強します. Okay? I study every single day. Alright? 勉強します. 毎日, every day. To practice, you'll notice they have the British spelling in here. The word practicing, or just practice in general, is 練習, 練習, right? 練習. And again, I do something. をします. So I am practicing. 練習をします. 練習をします. Or you don't even need o, just say 練習します. Okay? I will practice. 練習します. Okay? If the teacher said, "Oh, you need to work on your skills," right? You could say to your teacher, "Ah, 練習します. I will practice." Or 勉強します. I will study. Okay? If you have a lesson tomorrow, right? And you are getting ready for that lesson tomorrow, you're reviewing vocabulary, you're reviewing grammar, you're reviewing, if it's a math course, right? You're doing some practice problems. That is called 予習 preparation, right? This is class preparation, lesson preparation. 予習, okay? Actually, this word is, I never heard this word until I went to Japan. And I studied abroad at a Japanese university, and the teacher used this word like 予習しましたか? Did you prepare for this lesson today? And I had never heard that word. No one ever explained it to me, or it was never used at in my old Japanese classes back in America. And I had no idea what she was saying. 予習? What is that? But I quickly learned, right? 予習, this is a thing in Japan. Preparation for the next lesson, right? And here's kind of like, not the opposite, but related. 復習, 復習, right? This is review. After the lesson is over, after the lesson is done, once you get home, you can review everything the teacher said, review all your notes. That is 復習, right? 復習. Okay, the word for homework. This is a useful word, right? In school, 宿題, 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 right? This class, I don't give 宿題, but it is probably best to give yourself some 宿題, some homework, right? Make flashcards, write down some words that you don't know or that you want to learn. Okay, drill yourself. The word for an exam or a big test, 試験. 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 Okay? There is a big Japanese language proficiency test called the JLPT. 日本語能力試験. They call it 試験. It's an exam. And then we have the word from English, test, right? Testo. 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 Right? That's easy. Comes from English. I've always used these kind of interchangeably. My feeling, however, this is my feeling, it could be different from other Japanese speakers, but I feel like 試験 is a little more official or maybe larger, right? Like a final exam, right? A final exam would be definitely 試験. However, testo, you could have many testo throughout a semester, something like that, right? Here's the word for question, 質問. 質問. Now, hold on. We learned previously, if you were watching at the beginning of this live stream, the word for question or problem we learned earlier. 問題 is 問題, right? This is more of a question on a test, right? Or a problem in general, like a problem with ethics or a problem in society, right? However, 質問 really only means like a question that you can ask someone. I mean, I have heard people use this word, 質問, for like a written question on homework or a test. You could also say 質問 or 問題, right? Kind of interchangeable. However, 質問 only means question, right? 問題 can mean question or a problem in general, right? So 質問, and if you want to question someone, like if you want to ask a question to the teacher, をします。質問をします。質問をします。Again, you don't always need を. Just, you could say 質問します, right? To ask a question. If you want an explanation, right? The word explanation in Japanese, 説明, 説明, right? 説明, 説明. And again, をします means to do. So to do an explanation or to give an explanation in Japanese, we say 説明をします。説明をします。Or you could leave out O as always. 説明します。I will explain, right? 今、説明します。I will explain now. 相談, right? 相談 is a discussion. 相談 or a consult, right? Consultation. 相談. If you are having a discussion or a consult, right? をします。相談をします。Or 相談します。Right? Usually if you're going to see your professor during office hours, or if you have a question after class and you want to have a consult or a discussion with your professor, that is a good time to use this word. 相談をします。あ、先生、相談、できますか? Can we have a discussion, right? And to check something, like to make sure it's correct, you could use this word. チェック。チェックをします。To check something, to see if it's right. チェックをします。Or チェックします。Right? This obviously comes from the English word check, to check something. Here's another one that comes from English. コピー。コピーをします。To copy something, right? With a copier. コピーをします。Or コピーします。コピー、コピー。コピーします。That's an easy one, right? And we're going to finish vocabulary with classroom language 3. This will be the last one today. Here are some useful phrases that I really think you should write down. Could you tell me blank, please? Right? This is a very polite way of saying, could you teach me this? Could you tell me what this is? Right? The thing を教えてください. Right? Something を教えてください. All right? I would use this if you want to know about a particular topic. So for example, if you want to learn about, I don't know, American history, right? And you're in your professor's office and you want them to explain American history to you, I would use this phrase, アメリカの歴史を教えてください. Could you please tell me about American history, right? Or Japan, right? You should already know the word for Japan, 日本. And then culture, the word for culture is 文化. So if I want to say Japanese culture, 日本の文化. 日本の文化. And if you're with your Japanese professor and you want them to teach you about Japanese culture or say something about Japanese culture, you could use this phrase. 日本の文化を教えてください. Okay? Very interesting phrase. You will see this kudasai a lot in this lesson. Kudasai means please, right? Could you please do this for me? Kudasai. We'll see that a lot. How about this phrase? て、どういう意味ですか? Something て. Now we have two T's here and then え. So in Japanese, you would just say て, right? It's a little strong. て、どういう意味? どういう意味ですか? Again, this verb here ends in す. We don't really say the u sound, it's just です. Okay? て、どういう意味ですか? What does blank mean, right? If you hear a Japanese word and you don't know what it means, for example, let me give you the word akebono, right? Let me just make sure I'm spelling this correctly. Akebono, yeah. Akebono ってどういう意味ですか? Right? This is a very useful phrase. What does akebono mean? And I will tell you, akebono wa dawn の意味です。Dawn. As in daybreak, right? Akebono. This is an interesting word. You might not hear it so much. But again, if you hear words that you don't understand in Japanese, this is a good phrase for you to use. て、どういう意味ですか? Right? How about this verb? を忘れました。忘れました。Try not to say した。忘れました。That sounds not natural. Okay, you want to sound natural as possible. So when you are saying this last した、the e kind of goes away, kind of drops off. So it sounds like this. 忘れました。忘れました。Okay? した。Alright? The E is not really there. E sound. Anyways, this verb means I forgot about something. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, 忘れました. I forgot my phone, right? My phone. The word for phone is 携帯電話, right? Or you could just say 携帯. 携帯 means my cell phone, right? Oh, I forgot my cell phone. 携帯を忘れました. All right. It might take you a few tries to be able to say it quickly. That's okay. Take your time. Make sure you're saying it correctly, slowly first, and then you could get it faster later, right? 携帯を忘れました. All right. How about this one? Could you please show me blank, right? Could you show me blank, please? And in Japanese, we say blank を見せてください. Blank を見せてください. Again, here is ください, right? This means please. Could you please, right? Could you please show me, I don't know, 漢字? この漢字? So for example, if I say この漢字, that means this word's Chinese character. Kanji is Chinese characters, right? Japanese uses Chinese characters. So if you are confused about a word and you want to look at the Chinese character, maybe you could say, この漢字を見せてください. この漢字を見せてください. Please, could you show me this kanji, right? What about this one? May I borrow blank? Or may I please borrow blank, right? Blank を貸してください. Blank を貸してください. Actually, this means more like, could you please lend me? Could you please lend me, or could you please let me borrow, right? Something を貸してください. Again, going back to 携帯, cell phone. Could I borrow your cell phone? 携帯を貸してください. 携帯を貸してください. Okay? Could I borrow your phone? All right. And okay, what if we're talking about attendance? Ooh, someone's not in class. Someone is late for class. And someone could say, ah, まだです. Right? If I ask, oh, is Tanaka-san here? But he's not there, right? He's on his way. Someone else in class could say, ah, まだです. まだです. Right? まだです. Not yet. This is a good phrase to just memorize. You will use it a lot. まだです. Not yet. If someone is late to class, right, you could use this verb, 遅れます. Or they will be late, right? 遅れます. Right? You call your friend and you say, I'm going to be late for class. 遅れます. Right? What if you just won't go to class, right? You will be absent or you take a day off. 休みます. Right? 休みます. 休みます. Right? That means I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna be absent for now. 休みます. Okay? Moving on. Okay, here are some really good phrases if you're just anywhere in Japan, right? もう一度言ってください. もう一度言ってください. Okay? It means, could you say that one more time? Could you say that again? Very useful phrase if you are going to Japan, right? もう一度言ってください. Again, ください means please. Could you please say, 言って in this case means say, right? One time is 一度, one time. More in this case means more. More one time, say please. It's literally the opposite of English, right? Could you say one more time, please, right? もう一度言ってください. もう一度言ってください. Right? If you say it many times, you can learn to say it really quickly. もう一度言ってください. Then there's this phrase, could you please speak more slowly? Could you speak more slowly, please? もう少しゆっくり言ってください. Right? A lot of these words are similar from the last phrase. もう少し means a little more, right? 少し, a little, more. A little more, what? ゆっくり. ゆっくり means slowly, right? もう少しゆっくり言ってください. Right? 言って, say it, ください, please. Please say slowly a little more. Please say it a little more slowly. もう少しゆっくり言ってください. Again, very easy, or very useful phrase when you're going to Japan. The verb meaning, oh, I understand, or oh, I see. In Japanese, we say, わかりました. This is also a very often heard phrase, very useful phrase in Japanese. わかりました. Right? わかりました. Again, this is not した. わかりました. The I, again, the I, the little I in Japanese, we say I, goes away. わかりました. わかりました. I got it. If you don't got it, if you don't understand, if you don't know something, you can use the opposite. わかりません. わかりません. Right? This is the negative conjugation. わかりません. わかりません. All right, and that will conclude the vocab for the classroom. All right, again, as always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. I'm going to bring out the lesson for today. Okay. Lesson 2. もう一度お願いします。One more time, please. Okay. All right. This is lesson 2. Section 1. はい、います。はい、います。はい means yes, if you didn't know that already. はい、yes. います。います is the verb meaning to exist. We use it with people. So, oh yeah, he's here or she's existing here, right? はい、います。So what situation do we have? We have a classroom. Here is the sensei, right? The teacher over here. Sensei in the 教室, right? 教室 is the classroom. And these people are the students, 学生, right? So the sensei is asking some questions. And if you go to a Japanese classroom, you will hear phrases like this. Kim-san, いますか? Right? Kim-san, いますか? So Kim is someone's name, Kim. San is a polite title that we give acquaintances or strangers, right? This is just being polite. Kim-san. いますか? This is a good phrase. いますか means, is he here? Or is she here? Right? Are they present? Okay. Kim-san, いますか? Right? The sensei is taking role. He's taking attendance. Kim-san, いますか? Is Kim here? Right? And look, I guess this is Kim. She's saying, はい. はい. Right? If you want to respond positively, yes, I'm here, you could just say, はい. はい. Okay? Kim-san, いますか? はい. How about number 2? カーラさん, いますか? Right? This is a different person. カーラさん, いますか? And I guess this second person here is Carla-san, right? はい、います. Right? はい、います. Which means, yes, います. I am here. I am present. Right? はい、います. Okay? Number 3. Joy-san, いますか? Joy-san. Another person named Joy. Joy-san, いますか? Is Joy-san here? And it looks like a classmate is answering for her. いません. いません. Right? This is the negative of います. So います means I'm here. いません means not here. Okay? They are not existing here, literally. So I guess Joy did not show up to class. Number 4. しんさんいますか? Right? Someone named しんさん. しんさんいますか? And then again, a classmate will answer. いいえ、まだです. いいえ、まだです. So actually, we just looked at this phrase earlier. まだです, right? Not yet. Okay? いいえ means no. No, not yet. いいえ、まだです. So Joy-san and Shin-san are not in class, but Kim-san and Kara-san are in class. Good for them. Okay, let's look at some more phrases. These are commands. These are, well, commands. These are like more like requests, I guess, that you will hear in the classroom. 聞いてください. 聞いてください. And you'll notice the picture here. She's showing her ears, right? She wants to listen. 聞いてください means please listen. Please listen, right? The teacher will use this. The sensei will use this often with students. あ、聞いてください. Listen up, right? Number 2. 書いてください. 書いてください means please write this, right? Please write it down. 書いてください. Number 3 over here. 読んでください. Right? If you have a textbook, right, or the Bible, I don't know. 読んでください. Please read it. Number 4. 3ページを 開けてください. You could just look at the last part of this. 開けてください. Right? 開けてください means to open, like a book or something. Open a book. 開けてください. Right? And if you're saying 3 means 3. ページ means page, right? From the English, page. So page 3ページを開けてください means open to page 3, right? Open to page 3ページを開けてください. Number 5, 言ってください. 言ってください. Please say it. 言ってください. Please say it. Number 6 on the bottom left. 見てください. Please look. Please watch. Okay? 見てください. 見てください. And number 7, a great word or a great phrase that you will hear in a Japanese classroom often. ペアで話してください. ペアで話してください. Pair is a pair, right? で means in. So in pairs, right? ペアで in pairs. 話してください. Please talk. Please talk in pairs. ペアで話してください. Now, normally, if we were in our classroom back in Miami, I would say, okay, let's play a game. I'm gonna give you a command, and I want you to show me the gesture for the command. But unfortunately, we are not together. So we're gonna move on. I'm so sorry about that. If you are with someone, go ahead. Try to play a gesture game. Try to act these out if you can. Okay, let's move on. Here are some more phrases that you will hear in the classroom in Japanese, okay? The sensei will start class with this phrase. 授業を始めます. 授業を始めます. Okay, 授業 is class. を始めます means I will start or we will start, right? Let's start class. Or class will begin, you could think of it, right? 授業を始めます. And then the class starts, right? Maybe half an hour, 50 minutes goes by, an hour. And at the end of class, he will say, 授業を終わります. 授業を終わります. So I'm ending class here. Okay? I'm stopping class. Class is over, right? 授業を終わります. Okay? 終わります. So those are beginning class and ending class phrases. How about situation number 2 on the left here? The student can ask, 先生、教室ってどういう意味ですか? Right? This is a phrase we learned earlier in our vocab when we were studying vocab. 先生、teacher. 教室ってどういう意味ですか? Again, great phrase. どういう意味ですか? What does it mean? Right? 教室. What does 教室 mean? 教室ってどういう意味ですか? And the sensei can respond, 英語で classroom ですよ. Okay? 英語で, remember, 英語 means English, right? で in this case means, in this case means in. So in English, 英語で classroom ですよ. ですよ is what a sensei will use when they are giving you the correct information, right? So there's really not an English, I mean, I could say like, it is, right? It is that, I don't know. 英語で classroom ですよ. Okay. How about situation 3 on the right here? We could have the phrase わかりました. I got it. Or we could have the phrase わかりません. I don't got it. I don't understand. わかりません. Okay? If at any time you guys don't understand something I'm saying, just comment right here, わかりません。Okay, and I will try to explain whatever it is to you. If you want me to say it again, もう一度お願いします。Right? Similar to ください。お願いします can mean please. Could you please do something? Could you please do this again? もう一度お願いします。And you will hear お願いします all the time in Japanese. Please do this. Oh, could you please do that? Could I please have this? Right? お願いします。もう一度お願いします。You could also say, could you please speak slower, right? More slowly? もう少しゆっくり言ってください。もう少しゆっくり言ってください。Right? If you don't understand what the sensei has said. But we've been over these phrases, so I'm not going to spend too much time on them. Situation 4. Look, this guy is leaving the classroom. Right? If you are leaving the classroom in Japan, you must do it politely. This is the polite way. ちょっと失礼します。ちょっと失礼します。Okay? ちょっと失礼します。And then you leave, right? It means basically, I'm leaving for a minute. Oh, I'm gonna go out for a minute. ちょっと失礼します。Right? And then this person here looks like they are calling, maybe they're calling the sensei or they're calling a classmate. And they're saying, すみません。遅れます。Right? すみません means, oh, excuse me. 遅れます. Right? We learned 遅れます before, prior. Means I will be late. Right? I'm gonna be late. すみません。遅れます. Or they could say, 休みます. Right? I will be absent. 休みます. I'm gonna take a day off, okay? 休みます. Actually, I had to do that. I had to call in and say, すみません、休みます when I was in Japan for a time because I was hospitalized with appendicitis in Japan, and the professors there were very understanding, but I had to say, 休みます、すみません. I'm so sorry. Okay, let us try now a video. We will go to a1.marugotoweb.jp. I am in the Can Do 3 section. So let's watch a situation in class, in the classroom. I'm just going to move that. And I will put on English for you. During a lesson.
じゃあ CD を聞いてください。
すみません。もう少しゆっくり言ってください。
はい。CD を聞いてください。
You noticed he used a phrase, could you say it more slowly, right? He said, could you say it again more slowly? And she did. So let's challenge yourself. Try watching it without English. See if you can get it during class.
じゃあ CD を聞いてください。
すみません。もう少しゆっくり言ってください。
はい。CD を聞いてください。
Okay, and I just want to go back here. In Japanese, the word CD is pronounced CD. Okay? はい。CD を聞いてください. Again, this is one of those classroom commands. 聞いてください. Please listen to the CD. Let's do this one, and I will put English for you. Lesson is finished. Anton has something to tell the teacher. What could it be?
先生。休みます。すみません。
わかりました。
さよなら。
Okay, you'll notice, and let's see. Getting up, he gets the attention with sensei. Hey, sensei. Goes to the calendar. Yasumimasu. I will be absent. And he points. This is very, I mean, this is very basic, rustic Japanese way of talking in Japanese, but it works, right? If you are a beginner, this is fine. The sensei will understand. Point and say, Yasumimasu. Sumimasen. I'm so sorry. Please excuse me. And the sensei says, Wakarimashita. Wakarimashita. I got it. It's okay. Sayonara, right? Sayonara. This is the standard way of saying goodbye in Japanese. Let's watch again without English. Can you understand? 授業が終わりました. The lesson has ended. Anton has something to say to the sensei.
先生。休みます。すみません。
わかりました。
さよなら。
Okay. Always interesting acting going on with these videos. Let's do a let's try. So let's try speaking Japanese in class.
Yeah.
皆さん、おはようございます。
おはようございます。
いいですか？聞いてください。ここに名前と国を書いてください。では皆さん、4ページを開けてください。
Let's ask her to say it more slowly. はい。すみません。もう少しゆっくり言ってください。
はい、わかりました。4ページを開けてください。
Let's do it one more time. See if you can. Well, actually, I'm also going to explain some of these phrases.
Yeah. 皆さん、
皆さん, right? 皆さん. Everyone. おはようございます. This is our standard good morning, right?
おはようございます。
おはようございます。
いいですか？聞いてください。
All right. いいですか? This is not an L, okay? This is a capital I. いいですか? Are you ready? 聞いてください. This is a phrase we learned earlier. Please listen.
はい。ここに名前と国を
All right. This is a little complicated maybe for people who are absolute beginners. We'll break it down. ここ means here. に on. So on here, 名前 is name. と means and. So name and 国 means country. So your name and your country を書いてください. Right? This is our phrase that we learned today. を書いてください. Please write your name and your country here.
書いてください。 ージを開けてください。
Now you try. What is the phrase that means, please say it more slowly? Oh. Right? すみません. Excuse me. もう少しゆっくり言ってください. Could you please say it more slowly?
はい、わかりました。4ページを開けてください。
Right, again, 4 is 4. Page. So page 4, 開けてください. Please open your book to page 4. Okay, and again, you could always try these on your own by going to a1.marugotoweb.jp. This is Can Do 3. And let me see, I want to go now. Oh, not this. Let me just minimize. Okay, and then the next section for this lesson is all about hiragana and katakana, right? These are kind of like the alphabets of Japanese. I'm not going to go into how to write these, and we're not going to go extensively into learning hiragana and katakana. That is something you can do on your own. I recommend Googling like hiragana writing sheet or katakana writing sheet, and through those, right, you can learn how to write hiragana and katakana. There's also plenty of free apps, right, online, free programs that you can get for your phone, tablet, or computer. That's actually how I learned hiragana. There was a wonderful app. I don't know if it's still on the App Store. It was just called Hiragana. It was a green looking icon with a white symbol, Japanese a symbol. And then katakana, similar thing, a green app with a white katakana a symbol. If that's on there, I highly recommend it. I use it with a tablet and a stylus to get the stroke order. But yeah, this is something you can do on your own. So we will actually skip the hiragana and katakana section and go straight to lesson 2 next week. So now we are the Japanese Christian community, right, in Miami. So we will add something to the end of every lesson, just a little Bible verse in Japanese. And we're going to study a little bit about John. And this is probably extremely popular. Everyone knows this, right? John 3:16. In English, for God so loved the world, he gave his only son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life. In Japanese, I found an easy translation. That will be, and I'm writing this out, 神は、その一人子をAnd you know what? I will put in just O for that. 一人子をお与え and I will just add a hyphen there. お与えになったほどによう愛された. And you know what? We don't have so much time, so I'm just going to do the first part of John 3:16. よう愛された. Okay, this is the first part of John 3:16, which means God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. It's that part of John 3:16. Okay, we're going to just break this down. Kami means God. In Japanese, if you were to talk to a non-Christian, if you were to talk to just a regular, like, I don't want to say regular, but a non-Christian Japanese person, Kami could mean many different gods, okay? Could mean many different gods. In a church context, in a Christian context, Kami always means just God, right? Jesus, the one God of Christianity. Wa is the topic particle. It tells us, hey, we're talking about this thing. We're talking about God in this case. So kami wa, as for God himself, right? Sono Sono is a good word. It means that. That what? Hitorigo. Hitorigo is a interesting word. It's not so common. Hitorigo means like lone child, right? The only child. In English, we say only begotten son, I think. Yeah, the only child, right? Hitorigo. O, and this should, usually we write it W-O. However, for your study, I don't want to confuse you. We don't pronounce the W, okay? So it's just O. It just sounds like O. All right? And you know what? I will put the W in parentheses so you know not to say it, okay? Kami wa sono hitori go o. And again, this o is a grammar function. It tells us that the thing before it, being the only child, right? The thing before o is the object of a verb. Where is the verb? Oh, well, it's coming right here. O atae ni natta. Okay, this is a very polite way of saying ataeru, right? Ataeru. Ataeru is a verb meaning to bestow, to give, right? To someone below you, to give down to someone. God is above us all. So, of course, we will use the verb ataeru when God is giving us something, right? Because he's giving it from above. And when you add o, atae ni natta, it becomes very polite. This is a very polite way of saying he gave, right, to us. So he gave his only, that, right, that only son. So God gave that only son. Hodo ni means, this is very tricky, actually very difficult to explain. Hodo ni, so much so, I would say in English, so much so, right? And you really don't understand what that means until you read the next part. So let's read the last part of this verse. Yo means world, okay? There's actually a few words meaning the whole world. In the Bible, typically they will use yo, just the world. Again, this is the special O, grammar O. I, we looked at I last week. It means love, right? And then sareta, sareta. Ai suru, ai shimasu means to love. Okay, ai shimasu. That's the normal way. If you are talking about God, however, he is so great and he's so high and you have to respect him, right? Because he's God. We will use a respectful form of ai shimasu, to love. So when you want to make shimasu respectful, you could just say saremasu or sareta, sareru. So to love, when you're giving respect to this person who is doing the loving, we say ai sareta, ai saremasu, right? Ai sareru. So God, that's the first part. Let's look at the second part. Loves the world, right? That's the main part of this verse. You know what? I'll underline it. God loves the world. All right? God loves the world. Let's go backwards now, because English is backwards from Japanese. Hodo ni, so much so that he gave that only son. All right? This is just breaking down the verse in from Japanese to English, and we only had time. I'm sorry. This is John 3:16a, right? The first part of John 3:16. I hope this made sense. It can get a little confusing, but I'm trying, so bear with me. Next week we'll move on to lesson 2 right after this on the Facebook page. And if you have a Zoom link, there will be a trilingual Bible study, English, Japanese, and Spanish. Stick around if you want. You could expose yourself to some Japanese more if you want. If not, I'll see you next week, hopefully. Stay safe, guys. See you.